Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. Alright.
Space, the final frontier. The USSR and the US fought to be superior in all aspects around and above the globe during the Cold War. This is because of mutually assured destruction. So, to make sure neither country was too mad, they competed in competitions. One such competition was the space race. Another extension of the Soviet-US clash, this race was each country's attempt to assert superiority. The pseudo-fight between the USSR and the US caused each country to speed their development of space technology and therefore led to achievements faster than otherwise would have occurred. Prior to the first satellite, Sputnik, space exploration was a cooperative program that included 67 countries from both NATO and the Warsaw Pact. Although Sputnik is looked upon as a cataclysmic beginning of the space race, the foundations for the pseudo-fight between the two powers was the International Geophysical Year. Abbreviated as an IGY, 1957 to 58 marked the year of intense solar activity. During this year, an emphasis would be placed on space exploration. It was partially an event made to increase funding for atmospheric research. As a reaction to this, in 1954, the U.S. government announced that they would be sending a satellite into space. Whoop-de-doo! The CIA believed that space exploration could enhance their psychological warfare values. They said that, quote, "the nation that accomplishes this feat will gain incalculable prestige and recognition throughout the world." The American interest and involvement with the IGY led to Russians' Sputnik. This hampered American propaganda and effectively hit the U.S. with a large 2x4 to begin the race. The starting pistol of this race into space shot out of Earth's atmosphere going 18,000 miles per hour. Sputnik, the first artificial satellite by Russian intelligence, launched on October 4th, 1957. The U.S., becoming nervous about Russia's advances in technology, quickly sent their satellite, Explorer 1, into orbit in 1958. And President Eisenhower created the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, also known as NASA, during that same year. Continuing the same pattern of advancements, the USSR sent the first space probe to hit the moon in 1959. In April 1961, Soviet cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first person to orbit Earth in the spacecraft Vostok 1. Just 1 month after this historic achievement, President Kennedy made the bold declaration that the U.S. would land a person on the moon by the end of the decade. This goal mainly manifested itself in the Apollo missions, which was a program involving 34,000 NASA employees and 375,000 employees of industrial and university contractors. From 1961 to 64, NASA saw an increase in funding of 500%. The hard work of the Apollo scientists finally came to fruition when Apollo 8 became the first manned spacecraft to orbit the moon in 1968. In 1969, Apollo 11 became the first spacecraft to land on the moon. Astronauts Neil Armstrong, Edwin Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins manned the Apollo 11 mission. As Armstrong and Aldrin were the first men to walk on the moon, it became one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Once they landed on the moon, America had technically won the space race. Despite a slower start, they had bested the Soviet Union in space exploration. The end of the race was not the end of the U.S. space program, though. NASA continues to be a leading explorer in space, and their achievements will never be forgotten.